Hey y'all, welcome back to Chatting with Coach Amy. This is being recorded the day after Christmas, but it is airing the day after New Year's. Yeah, January 2nd. So happy 2023. Today I have a very long-time group client, Cristina. You've never done one-on-one, have you?
Never.
No. I've talked to you like this close. I guess because you do talk to me during the lives. Oh, you were in the teacher podcast. Were you in any others? No. Okay. All right. Anyway, it's weird. Like Wes will say all the time, I'll talk about different things and I'm like, oh, so-and-so lives there. Like we were talking about Michigan. Liz lives in Michigan and blah, 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 whatever. He was like, it's really cool that you could do that. I said, well, the ones that I name drop have been with me for a while, but that's with life. I mean, you build relationships with people that you live life with. And many of you have been with me for a while, but the key to me, the key is that you participate, and so that's how I know you and have relationships. So anyway, yes, I'm so happy to have you. So happy.
A little nervous, but I'm happy to be here.
Oh, don't be nervous. It's going to be wonderful. Wonderful. So, I'm just going to ask you a few questions about some things and then we'll get into your journey if that's okay. So since the people that are listening, you are going to be in 2023 and I have my little shirt on. I didn't put this on purpose, but then I was like, oh, that works great. So I have my Keeping Promises to Myself shirt. So I just was wondering, someone in your shoes that's been in Southern and Healthy, Interim Healthy Mama for a long time, what does this mean anything to you at all? If it doesn't, that's fine. But if it does, I would love to hear your heart on that.
I feel like that's how I got started. Like I did Trim Healthy Mama probably like 8 years ago, like on and off. And I was never good at it. I did a lot of like really heavy S meals in the beginning and didn't understand why it wasn't working. But like I still knew that it would work, if that makes sense, but it wasn't working for me. And then I would go off for a little bit and back on and off and back on, and it never worked until last April. And then I was like, you know what? I don't even care, because if I had been even a little bit consistent at all over the past 8 years, I would already be where I want to be. But it's because I keep stopping and I keep going off because I'd rather have the bread or the pasta or whatever, that I'm not successful. So I was like, no, I'm just going to eat. I don't care if it's a crossover. I don't care what it is. I'm going to eat only on planned food. And that's
only on planned food. Yeah.
That's how I started. I mean, I was like relatively newly postpartum at that point. So crossovers were okay because I was still nursing. I did a lot of LS helpers. I kind of like slowly weaned off, like taking what I normally did and just making sure everything was on plan and making every meal a crossover was fine. And then everyone, like slowly I'd be like, okay, let's try to make this just an S or just an E. And until I kind of got back into the rhythm again. But otherwise, I don't think that's how I started, with keeping promises to myself and saying, nope, I told myself I was going to do this. And so I'm going to do it,
Right. There's so many people that don't do that. It kind of blows me away. I don't know that I would never call myself necessarily an all or nothing person, but I'm definitely a person that if I tell myself that I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. But also with that same mind frame, like CrossFit twice a week. I've been doing that for 6 years. Last week, I only went once. Did I get upset and say, well, I'm just never going back to CrossFit ever again? No, I just said, it's okay. It is. And I really intend, I have the best little yoga app on my phone. It's so cute. But until I push it and like do it, it isn't helping me, Cristina. But I didn't use it and I meant to do it this morning. And then I got busy doing other things, I slept till 6 o'clock. I mean, excuse me, not 6, 8. Can you believe that? I slept until 8. Yeah. So I woke up at like 5 and then I was like, I hear nothing. I'm going back to sleep. I knew Wes wasn't home. Him and Lily, they left to go deer hunting out of town. But anyway, so he wasn't home for me to sit and drink coffee with, which would be my only motivation on a non-work day to get up. But anyway, so yeah, I slept till 8. It was lovely. But I might do yoga later. I don't have anything else to do today. Like I'm going to my grand's this evening, but there's not much else. So Literally, how long does it take? 10, 15 minutes for what I do? Anyway. So yeah, keeping promises to ourselves is very important. And it's a great thought, And people ask me that. They probably ask you this too, because I know people have seen your progress and they have to notice it. They have to. That like, how do you do it? I had a lady last year. Are you still doing that skinny healthy thing, skinny trim, whatever they say, girl, whatever? And I'm like, yeah, you've been doing that a long time. I have been doing it a long time. And you're not going to stop? Nope, I'm not. I'm a trim healthy mama. And that's just the way it is. This entire we have 5 days left for 100 strong while we're recording. And there's 2 days that I did not have the afternoon fuel pull, but I've had a gallon of water every day. I read a Bible verse or something kind of Bible, something every day. And then I had on plan food every day. I've not had any off plan. My timing hasn't been stellar sometimes. And I have only had the fuel pull. I missed it twice, yesterday and a few days ago, actually. So towards the tail end. But Christmas things, schedules, my family's deer hunting stuff, it's insane. And then I've had a lot of extra things with work and some things that just didn't happen. So did you do 100 strong?
I did, but I forgot what I chose for my 100 strong, like very quickly into it. I think by the time it started, I was like, what did I say my things were going to be? So I think I've been redefining them as we go through the 100 days.
That's okay.
We're doing it. The thing that I say I do every time that I still cannot get down is the water.
Mm-hmm.
I am just, I want a hot drink. Like if it was my choice all day long, I'd have a hot drink, but that's not reality. When I'm at school, I'm in a pretty good rhythm with like making sure I drink it, but then breaks like this, just not.
Yeah, it throws you off.
It does, and then I can't figure it. And then it's like 8 o'clock, and I'm like, I don't think I've had much to drink today, and I'm like guzzling water to try to get it in.
Yeah. Something that I started when I started with my functional medicine doctor, I was having some digestive issues. I don't know that I've ever really shared this, but she recommends not drinking a lot of water, fluids, a little before the meal, during the meal, and after the meal to help with digestion. And so I think that's where I was able to pull my large amount of water every day because I drink between meals and the snack, that I have. So in that 3 to 4 hour window, that's when I'm drinking the water. And I think that really helps with cravings. And I don't know that I really have cravings anymore, but the people that I've talked to about this, it really helps with that because you're busy drinking the water. Have you seen the meme where it says, if you drink a gallon of water a day, you won't get in other people's business. You'll be too busy going to the bathroom or something. Oh, that cracks me up. I showed that a lot. That's so funny. I love it. You're gonna be too busy going to the bathroom to worry about everybody else. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that was a great little intro. Thank you so much. At this point, we are just I'm ready for 2023. I'm ready to see what God will do in all of you guys' lives and in mine. I'm very excited. Blooms, I've got a lot of great things coming up for that. Buds is coming back up. I think I've got about half my goal is registered, so that's exciting. And one-on-one maxed out like 2 weeks ago. So wow. All set for one-on-one. All set. I've had to tell a lot of people, I'm so sorry, I can help you in March or you can do buds, whatever. So anyway, yeah. So tell us about yourself, Cristina.
I'm a teacher. I live in New Jersey. It's so cold here right now. It was on Christmas Eve. It felt like -7.
Wow.
And then Christmas Day was not much better. And I think we're finally warming up a little bit, but it's still horrible. I have 2 little boys. They're 2 and 4. And and I'm 32. You always ask everyone.
Yes. How old? 32. So what kind of, you're a teacher. What do you teach?
7th and 8th grade math.
Oh, I think I do that every time. Every time you say that, I'm like, oh, whoa. 7th and 8th grade math. What in the world made you choose that?
It just kind of happened. I have the theory that middle school, people don't choose middle school chooses you.
Yes.
I like math. That one I chose. I wanted to do that. I said, I can only do one subject. That's the one I want. But middle school just kind of happened. I wanted to teach high school. but I got an interview for 8th grade. And then I was like, well, this is a lot of fun. So I stayed.
That's awesome though. I bet you're a fun teacher.
We have a
Yeah.
good time. At least I tried to.
I bet. So when did y'all get out of school for the holidays?
Friday, we had a half day.
Wow. And when do you go back?
Monday.
Wow.
It's a short break this year. Yeah.
Very short. My boys got out December 16th, although the 14th, 15th, 16 were half days. And one of those days they stayed home because we had bad weather. Like a cold front was coming in and it was stupid hot down here. And so that means tornadoes and hail. And so anyway, everybody stayed home. But they go back, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday, the 4th, 3rd or 4th. Anyway, so they've been out a while. They will be out a while. No, they're doing good. Every time they come out into the living room and can I do this? They want to stay on their Kindle all the time. And I'm like, no, we're not living on the Kindle. I'm so sorry. Go play with your 900 toys you got yesterday. Yeah. And they have been playing. They got a lot of Jurassic World dinosaurs, which JJ loved. My best friend JJ loves Jurassic World. Her ringtone is the theme song to Jurassic World. That's so funny. So what'd your boys get for Christmas?
Oh, everything. I think it was like Spider-Man gear.
Oh yeah.
Everything has either Spider-Man or some other superhero on it. And then my oldest is just getting into board games. He got like a whole bunch of like all the games that we used to play growing up. We've already played Yahtzee and Kerplunk.
Gotcha.
Ripped into.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. I love that. Okay, so let's talk about your Trim Healthy Mama journey. You already told us that you were off and on again for a long time. So how did you first find out about THM?
I heard something on the radio. It was like they were like going to do an interview with these best friends who had come up with a diet plan based on the Bible. And I did not remember the name of it. So I'm like Googling it, trying to figure out what it was. And Trim Healthy Mama came up. And I was like, I'm pretty sure this is not what I heard, but I'm going to check it out anyway. So I'm like reading the website. And on the website, it was talking about how you could eat butter. And I was like, this was like back when everything was like low fat. So I'm like, there is no diet in the world that's going to let you eat butter and tell you you're going to lose weight. Like this can't be a thing. So then I was like, I need to see what this is. So I think I got the Kindle book and I read through that really fast. And then I kept referencing it. So I bought the big white book, with the baby on the cover.
Yes.
I read it like every day on my lunch break. I would just keep going through the book until I finished it. And I was just like fascinated by all of it.
Yeah. Were you married at that time? Because that was a while back. It was before
I was
kids.
like newly married. Yeah.
Newly married. Wow. So how was your health then that you were wanting? I assume you were wanting to lose weight. Were you having any other health issues or anything like that?
I had PCOS, but I don't know if I knew it yet.
Gotcha.
But I definitely still had it. And then yeah, I was mostly just trying to figure out because we were newly married and I'm like cooking for us, and I was like, I keep gaining weight and I don't know why.
Oh.
But I feel like I'm eating all the things that I'm told I'm supposed to be eating and doing, and it's not working. Like it's working against me, and I keep gaining. And PCOS was probably a part of that.
Yeah.
But the other part of it was, all the sugar and all the like refined carbs and things like that. That now they make my stomach hurt. When I first started in buds, I remember you saying all the things that you couldn't eat that made your stomach hurt, and I was like, well, that stinks. Now I'm at the point where that same thing is happening to me. I'm like, I can't have this or this or this because even though it's good for me, it's not good for me. Like my body can't handle it.
Nope. That's very interesting, isn't it? And I talked to some other people about that recently, how I think the healthier our body gets and the more detoxed it gets as we do THM, it's like, you know what? That stuff is poison to me. You don't need to use that, and it's, my best friend Jennifer, she made fun of me forever about how Lily's chocolate would cause me gas with the inulin that's in there. Oh, and now it does the same thing to her. And so I guess that's what you're talking about, and some other things too. I can't do baobab.
Recently, I feel like I have issues with baobab.
Yeah.
I was texting
It's too intense for my gut. And that
It
might
is.
not be a good thing. There may be a problem, but I'm good. It's fine.
I've been adding it to my kefir. And then I
Uh-huh.
was like, I'm having all these issues lately that I don't normally have because I take my Total Restore every morning. As long as I have it every morning, I'm fine. But then I was like, I don't know, it's still bothering me, even with my kefir shake every day. And Wendy's my blooms buddy.
Yeah.
And she was like, do you think it's the baobab? I'm like, probably, because I'm putting it in my kefir, like double fermenting it in my kefir and then adding it to my shake every day. So
Oh, yeah, that might be too much.
like, we need to back up.
I love that. I love that. So talk to me about your blooms buddy. That's exciting.
We talk all the
Cindy
time.
Archer.
Yes.
I love her.
She is the sweetest. We literally talk all the time, every day.
Oh.
Constantly. When you said we needed a blooms buddy, I basically just told her she was going to be my blooms buddy. I think I tagged her in the post where you were like, can you just like name your blooms buddy? And so I was like, yep, this is my blooms buddy now. And then she texted me and she's like, wait, are we buddies? I'm like, yep.
Yep.
We
are. Actually. Buckle in, girl.
It worked. That weekend we got on a call just to talk about like, whatever challenge we had going on. We were on the phone for like an hour and a half.
I remember when you told me about that. I love
And now
that.
we do that like every week.
Oh my
Lately
gosh.
we've been doing it like every weekend. We'll just hop on a call whenever we're like not really busy. And
Yeah.
we'll be like, I'm like prepping my stuff for the week. She's cleaning her kitchen. Like we're doing all the things, but we're like chatting the whole time. And I'm like,
That's
my
precious.
house has never been here.
I love that. Where does she live?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, and you're in New Jersey. That makes my heart so happy, Cristina.
We're trying to plan at some point we can never get together.
Yes, y'all should. So, and y'all have a wide age difference too. Oh my gosh, because her son's out of the house and you got a baby. That's so precious. Oh my goodness. You've just made my heart really happy.
She loves hearing all my baby stories.
I'm sure.
Hear that.
Yes, I'm sure. She will be very helpful as you raise those boys, I'm sure too.
Oh yeah.
So it goes further than Trim Healthy Mama, of course.
Yeah.
So what would you say are some things that you learned in coaching that helped you like stay on track?
Buzz was super helpful because I don't just to like make sure. I feel like I felt like I knew everything until I joined Buzz. And then it was just a good like, okay, these things are actually good. Like I got this down. I'm good on that. And there were other things where I was like, oh, I don't think I was doing that right. I need to tweak this or something was off. And then I remember getting into Bloom. All I wanted to do was look at the education on the different types of S meals.
Yeah.
Because I'd always heard about them, but I had absolutely no idea what I was talking about. So that was like the first thing I did. I'm like, okay, Bloom. As soon as I was in, I was like, where is that document? I know it's here somewhere. And I'm going to read through the whole thing. And then the fuel cycle, I would never have done that had you not made me do that.
Mm-hmm.
I've done 2. We did one, whatever month it was that you challenged us to do a fuel cycle.
Yeah.
And then we did one over the summer.
Yeah.
I think Wendy and I did it together because she's like, I'm going to have time to focus on this. And I was like, all right, let's do it. Which was honestly so helpful because otherwise I would never have made it through the week. But then I was like texting her and I'm like, so badly like, I know, me too.
It's tough. Those 2 days of deep S get me. I need a carb bad. Like, oh my gosh. I bet you did too, because you have a lot of E's, don't you? Normally,
so many. Yeah, I was like those deep S days and even the fuel pull days. Like, give me carbs.
Yeah, for sure. So when did you do buds?
All of last
Of 21.
Yeah, before we bought this house, we lived with my in-laws for a while. We were like in between houses. So I knew I wanted to do coaching, but I didn't want to do it until we had moved into our house because when we lived with them, my mother-in-law, she made us dinner every night. So everything else kind of we were responsible for, but we would have dinner together as a family. So I was like, whatever you give me, because I'm not going to be that person that like imposes this on you. You're already doing this for me. So I said, once we move into our house, I am now 100% in control of what I eat. I'm going to do coaching so that I make sure that I stay on track.
Right. Very cool. So you were with me back in the Facebook days of coaching.
Yeah.
How was that transition for you? Go into Mighty Networks.
I much prefer Mighty Networks because on Facebook you get so distracted. I would go in to check all the stuff and then I was like there forever because you see all the other things. So Mighty Networks is a lot easier because I'm like just for coaching, and when I want to look for coaching stuff, I know where to go, and those notifications are different than all the other ones. So it's much
Hmm.
easier to be like, oh no, like every time you post a menu, I like leave it in my little notification tray until I can go back. Because unlike everybody else, I love the menus.
I
So
love you. Thank you so much for loving my menu.
I love them. I was not a menu planner until you sent menus every week. And then I was like, wait a minute. This is very
It makes sense. I'm just saying.
yes. It's
How
so
in the
helpful.
world?
I
Yeah.
like wanted it. Like I wanted to meal plan and do all those things. But then with PHM, I'm like, this is so confusing. So the menu made it so much easier. And sometimes like I don't follow them exactly. Like we have certain things like my husband
Sure.
like, so I'll be subbing things out of your menu. There's certain things that we have like all the time. Like every Friday is pizza night. We usually have breakfast for dinner at least one night a week. So if that's not on your menu, I'll add it to mine. But then sometimes I'm like, you know what, I just want a new idea. And so I'll just flip through and just check them out to see
Yeah.
what's there that I haven't made in a while.
Awesome. Well, thank you for loving my menus. You're the best. Yeah. So it's a joke for those of you that are new, maybe. When I do Bud's evaluations, and I have a Blooms one, but it hasn't been done a lot yet. All my Blooms listening right now, please go do the evaluation. But anyway, so I used to have like a rating system, like 4 ratings that could be done. That has stressed me out because if somebody put unsatisfied, it like just put me in the ground, like nailed the coffin. I just wanted to quit. I was like, they weren't satisfied with one thing. They loved everything else. I couldn't see that. So anyway, I don't even know who it was. Somebody said, just ask if it was helpful or not. Was it helpful or did I not utilize it? Because a lot of times if they put like unsatisfied, it was just because they didn't use it, and because I asked a couple of people, it like you, I'd have been like, so why exactly, and they're like, oh, I just didn't use that. And I'm like, oh, so you weren't unsatisfied with it. You just didn't use. So anyway, it really helped Coach Amy's heart.
I
So
like
now,
that option because like some of the accountability stuff I don't use anymore because staying on plan is so just do it. Like I don't even have to think about it.
yeah,
So I'm not always using the nightly accountability posts because I don't necessarily need nightly accountability.
right, right.
But like I like that it's there because if I do go through a point where I want it, I know that it's there for me.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people, speaking of the accountability post each night, they like to see what everybody else is eating too, So anyway, but on that evaluation, I have a lot of people that will put did not like 80% did not utilize the menu. And it breaks my heart every time. But then I have you. So I'm going to keep doing it for you. Okay.
I love them. Keep them.
And 2, it's helpful for me because that's how I narrow down what I'm going to make in the kitchen.
Right.
And then you guys can vote. And Wes was like, one day you're going to run out of recipes. And I was like, they'll come out with another cookbook by the end. It'll be fine. I feel like I missed everything in future. I probably need to go through and see, but it's close. It's close.
Every time I make a new recipe, I like go through like on your YouTube channel and I'm like, has Amy made this yet?
Yeah.
If she has, I'm gonna watch the video first because every once like you'll be making something and you're like, okay, I substituted this for this, or like later on you'll tell us, okay, I made that, I didn't like it, I would make these changes, so that I always go back and I'm like, has she made this? What did she say about it before I start? So that I know if I need to do anything to it before I start.
That's right. I posted a video of the Trim Healthy Christmas cookies, and a lady, bless her, it was the video. And I try not to do my YouTube videos. I try to make sure they're below 15 minutes because now the first year of them, I didn't know that. So they're probably 2 hours long. I don't know. But, I've learned different things through the years. And she commented about the icing. And I'm like, I don't know. I did that a year ago. I don't know what I did last week. And so I went and pulled a post. And then when I answered, she goes, I found it. I actually watched the video, which I should have done before I asked the question. I'm like, it's okay. It's fine. Merry Christmas. But I love doing the YouTube videos, and I've slacked on those some. I have plans for 2023 to kind of get that pumped back up, but I have to focus on what a priority, what they are. And right now, my paying clients, are who I owe my time to and my family. Followers, free things come last. And I'm sure if people don't understand that, that's okay, but most do. So that's what I have to focus on. But anyway, it's just such a blessing to be able to share those things with y'all each week in group coaching, because I mean, I love to know tweaks of different things, you know. And have you made Coach JJ's chili, by the way? I've made it 3 more times.
I've not, but I've heard it.
It is amazing. And she was just like, all I did was spoof McCormick seasoning. I'm like, well, it works. So good. She was actually here yesterday, Christmas Day. We try to see each other for a little bit. Last year, we actually spent a long time together, our families, but anyway, she just came by to see what the kids got for Christmas, and we exchanged. And she was talking to Bella about her senior pictures and stuff. And I said, excuse me, I have to go make Coach JJ's chili for our Christmas celebration. She was like, you're kidding. So I was making it while she was here. It was kind of funny. And I didn't get the recipe out. And I'm like, hey, so what do I put in this? It was funny. Okay, so you got your blooms, buddy. We talked about accountability. What would you say has been some of your favorite non-skill victories from your Trim Healthy Mama journey?
I feel like I have in the beginning. I feel like I have wrists. My wedding ring is loose. Like it was like weird things like that. Now I didn't you say this on Sunday? You said it on one Sunday. Maybe it was the most recent one. That like you like everything that's in your closet. You feel comfortable in all the clothes that are in your closet.
Yes.
I feel like
Feeling
I'm getting to that
comfortable,
point now.
being able to put on anything out of my closet, being comfortable in it. Yeah.
Yeah. I now like weight loss has slowed down. It was very rapid in the beginning, and now that it's slowed down some, I've been trying to get like, nicer clothes and kind of replenish. I mean, last summer I threw everything out that I had because none of it fit, and I
Yeah.
was like starting from scratch. So I'm like slowly kind of building everything back up, and trying to put in things that I like really love, which is a fun process.
It is. Where do you like to shop?
I get a lot of stuff on Stitch Fix because I get
Yeah.
annoyed when I'm at the store, so I enjoy telling someone else what I like and having them send it to me so that I don't have to make choices.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. We have one of my friends, Danielle, she owns a consignment store here. She actually has 2 stores now. It has grown. So she has like a kids one and an adult one. And so it's on our way into town from our house. It's like the first businesses that you would pass. And so me and the girls and West, all 7 of us, if we need anything and she's open, because sometimes I do go to Walmart super early, so I will say that. But if we're heading into town, I need something for me or one of the kids or Wes or whatever, we stop there first. I love a consignment store. I love thrift stores. I don't know if y'all have a lot of things like that, but I'm all about it. I'm gonna try there first and go from there. Yeah. I don't buy. My grandmother was here once. This is not about clothes, but there was something that there was a bunch of kids running around and she's like, they're gonna break all your stuff. I said, Gran, let me tell you something. Anything in this house I bought on clearance at a yard sale or at a thrift store. It's fine if it breaks. It's not a big deal. That goes with clothes, decor. Our couch, we paid $200 for it. It's a huge sectional. Somebody was getting rid of it. And they said, if you can come pick it up, $200, we're good. And I'm like, yep.
My husband and I joke that when we're finally done having children and potty training them, that we're getting a new couch to celebrate because my 4-year-old is.
Yes, that is the next big purchase. I want a new couch because that one, it's wearing out. When you sit in it, it's like you have to alley-oop to get up out of the hole. And the arms, Lily scrubbed the arms. She said Knox's Coach Amy's yogurt bowl is all over the arms of all the chairs. Those boys will make that every day. It cracks me up. So what
boys make my couch so messy. I don't understand. I'm like, what are you doing with this?
Yes, I know. And a lot of people I know don't let their kids eat on the couch. And I'm like, that is just not a war I'm willing to fight right now. It's just fine. So that is awesome. I love your non-skill victory. I love that. So tell us about your skill victory, where you were and where you are now, because it's so good. I love your little before and after. I use it all the time. I'm like, she don't care. I'm just going to use it today.
I liked I liked the bloom report because I was like, I haven't thought about my progress in a while. Like,
Yes.
I know recently it slowed, so then I'm like, wait, where have we come this past year? So since I started, it was 45 pounds down. I think
45.
in 2022 it was only 16, which still seems like a lot, but most of that happened last year. And I went from a size 14 to a size 6.
A 14 to a 6.
And the 6 is definitely getting on the looser end now.
I love that.
My goal is to be a 4 by the end of the school year. I think we're probably gonna get there.
Yeah, I think you could totally be a 4 by the end of the school year.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Are you doing any exercise?
I
No.
chase my children. When I'm at school, I feel like I'm always moving, running. Everything we need in our building is on the opposite side, so I feel like I'm always all over the place.
Yeah.
So I'm moving a lot during my day, but I'm not doing any
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. So what would you say are some habits that you have that have kept you keeping promises to yourself? We'll throw that in there.
Prepping has been really important, which a lot of it I owe to Wendy. She's like a master prepper, and so she'll
Mhm.
send me all these pictures of all the things she's doing, and I'm like, well, I guess I need to get started then. But I make overnight cinnamon squares every single weekend, probably.
Do you?
Oh, I love them. I for the past year, I think I've had them every week.
Do you make them?
Sometimes I make them midweek because my husband will eat them, and then by Wednesday or Thursday, I'm like, well, we need more. So I'm making more.
Yeah.
And with the homemade kefir, they are incredible.
I know. I know. Now I have been using whole wheat flour because I'm out of einkorn and somebody gave me this whole wheat flour. And so I decided I would use that until I ordered more einkorn. And they are darker. The einkorn's so white. Whole wheat flour is more brown. So there's that. But I made a double batch for yesterday morning for Christmas morning. And I usually have a lot of people come over on Christmas Day, but because it was Sunday and we had church, it just didn't work out. So I have a ton of leftovers. And I think I'm going to have Coach JJ's chili and some overnight cinnamon squares for my lunch today. I mean, I'm not sad about that at all.
Okay, great.
Great lunch. Great lunch. That's awesome. What are some other habits that you've done?
I always make sure we have leftovers. It's like a weird habit, but that almost always, even if I'm at home, that's what I will bring to lunch at work. That's what I have for lunch every day. So if I get to the point where I've eaten all the leftovers, I'm like, whatever we're having for dinner tonight, I need to make a lot of it because I need to be able to stockpile some of this so that I have quick grab things. My children like to see me eating and then immediately eat all the things. So I need things that I can make quickly.
Yeah, for sure. I love leftovers. A lot of people they just feel like they have to reinvent the wheel for every single meal. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not that special. I'm all about a leftover. I don't have to have things different. And it really helps me stay on track. Something that I'm going to be talking about in Blooms are Coach Amy's habits alongside, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at it. I finally got the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. And I'm going to use just little tidbits from there. It's not going to be like a full-blown study or anything, but I'm going to pull some things from that each week just to talk to you guys about, to kind of get your juices flowing about what you can do. Maybe you don't want to do the exact habit that I'm talking about that day, but you probably hearing it will be like, oh, I could do so-and-so, and just to kind of help kind of give yourself a little boost and to freshen things up. I think we're all due for a little freshening up in our habits for sure. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Okay. So, you do menu plan. Do you have a favorite grocery store?
I go to Aldi all the time. It's very weird listening to you talk about things being in town because everything in New Jersey is right there. This is town. Every weekend I'm at 3 different stores because they're not far. They're all right there.
Easy to do. Yeah.
Our
Aldi will open January 18th. I'm going to be there opening day. What day of the week is that? Oh, it's a Wednesday. Maybe not because I have let me check my calendar. What does it look like on a Wednesday?
While you're wandering around?
I have a little time, and there's a couple that I could probably rearrange, and one of them is local. So I bet she'd meet me there and we could I bet she would. She's the one who gave me this cute cup, Ashley. She's so sweet. She's actually on her way to the mountains to Gatlinburg for this week. I know, isn't that fun?
That sounds
She's so sweet. I love my local people. I know a lot of y'all that live off hate them, but I love them.
good. We don't hate them. We're just jealous of them.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. I was talking to some family about my business and stuff, and I don't think they strictly, not strictly, I don't think they follow my stuff often, but I think they see stuff enough to know. And one of them, she was like, "You're a thing. Like, you're a thing." And I'm like, I guess you can say that. She's like, "No, there's like people that they want to be around you." And I was like, "Yeah, and you don't ever like put forth any effort to do anything with me, you know." And I was, we were joking, but it is funny for local people versus far offs. It's unlikely that I will see you in real life this side of heaven. I might, but it is unlikely just because of, where we are. Oh, I don't know. I am bringing Lily to New York for her senior trip. Would you make it happen?
That's close by. We could do that.
Yeah, you could totally do that. Coach Fabiana, she is on Long Island, and she said she was going to help me plan things. So very excited. It's going to be great. Yes, very good. Okay, let me check my little notes here. What are some things that you struggle with now? Do you have anything that you struggle with now? Or you feel like you got
water is a big one.
Oh, water. Yes.
Why? That's always been a big one for
me. Yeah. Yeah.
There's times where I get really good at it.
Yeah. I have been doing really good. And then I for some reason I retired my white cup to the pantry. I just got it out this morning because I realized when I didn't have this big 40 ouncer, I just wasn't getting, it was more effort. I was like you at 8:00. Oh my gosh, I've only had 60 ounces. I've got to have another 60 before I go to bed, and that isn't good for my 41-year-old bladder. So I got to get that water in earlier. Very good. So that's definitely something you can work on for the new year. And that may be helpful for you. Hydration is super helpful to kind of spur things on, I think. I do think.
I've been having a lot of like digestion issues. So I think part of it is just I'm not having enough water. Like,
yeah.
I just definitely. So when I feel it, I'm like, all right, I need to have a GGMS, and then I need water. Like whatever order that happens in, it just needs to happen.
That's right.
Now.
That's right. I totally.
Especially if I'm not home, I'm like, there's not really much I can do besides drink water, so that's what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. So, what does your husband think about you doing THM?
He's very quiet. He doesn't say much, but I mean, he's coming around slowly. He won't eat anything that I make. He's very skeptical. He's convinced that there's going to be a vegetable in everything I give him, so he won't eat it. But he loves the overnight cinnamon squares and the overnight biscuits, so I try to keep those supplied. He loves every morning. He makes himself a breakfast sandwich on like a bagel that we buy from Aldi. So I'm like, if I make you the biscuits, will you do that same thing but on a biscuit? Yeah, that's fine. So I have to make him these like Mondo-sized biscuits so that he can have his sandwich on them. But at least that's on plan.
Yeah.
So I'll go for it. And there's a couple desserts that he will come around to. He has a huge sweet tooth. I made yesterday for Christmas, I made the fruit tarts from Trim Healthy Indulgence. They were so good. And they were actually very easy.
Good.
I kind of like psyched myself out because there's like different components you have to make before you put it all together. But they were really simple, and they came out really, really well.
I was happy. I made 2 things out of Trim Healthy Indulgence. The fruit tarts sound really good though. I may look into those for this weekend. So I made the white chocolate macadamia nuts, but I used pecans because I didn't have macadamia nuts. And those were really good, and they're still hanging out in my refrigerator. I probably have 6 or 8 left, I guess. I shared some with others, and Wes liked them. And then I also made the no-bake cookies, which they were really good. I liked those. I think next time I would put a little bit more peanut butter in them just for my taste. But they were very good. And of course, they were very easy. Did I make those in Holiday? I think I made them in Holiday. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Somewhere.
I made them somewhere in group coaching. It's on there somewhere. Very good. Is there anything that you'd like to share with everybody? A little heartfelt message.
I was thinking about this earlier today. I would say, take the pictures. I was like trying to get progress pictures for this year because I really feel like in this year, it's been harder for me to see my progress, and I was going back to my pictures, and I'm like, I don't even have pictures of myself to look at
Yeah.
to be able to convince myself, like obviously the numbers are there, but I'm like, looking at a picture would be very helpful. So I'm like, even if you don't like it, take the picture because you'll be happy, 6 months from now that you have the picture of yourself just to look at. No one else has to see it. I need to do that. I was like, I'm gonna make my husband take a picture of me just so that I have something
Yeah,
to
for sure.
like look back at. But then I would say the other thing is just to be consistent because honestly, that's gonna make the biggest difference. And it's gonna take it from I have to think. I mean, in the beginning, it's hard when you always think about what you're gonna be eating and what you're gonna be planning for and preparing for and all that stuff. But you really do get to the point where you don't have to think about it. And like now, everyone in my life just knows what I do. So, like we'll go to family things, and I'll either call ahead of time and I'll say like, "Can you just tell me what's on the menu, just so I can kind of plan around it?" Or they have a feel for like what I can and can't eat. So when I get there, they're like, "Oh, I made this for you. I know you don't have white flour, so I did this instead." Or like, there's always like options. I made this because I knew like my aunt the one night, she's like, "I made polenta because I thought you could have cornmeal even though you can't have like mashed potatoes." I was like, "Oh, that's right." you know. So like they do try to do like sweet little things like that.
That's so sweet. Consistency is huge. And I know we've talked a lot about Blooms. Sorry, everybody, but that is her story. She's been in Blooms for a year. So consistency challenge is coming for the entire year of 2023 for Blooms. We will be, and it's not like consistently drink water. That's not what it is. But I'm very excited about it because that is what has kept me going for 6 years is consistency. Have I fell off a little bit? Yes. So I think year 2.5, I just got very overwhelmed, but I did not have a support system. And now I have the biggest support system in the free world.
Yeah.
And yes, as a coach, I'm highly, and it is a full-time job. I mean, I make a wonderful living doing something I love. Absolutely, I do. But I could walk away from it if I wanted to. I could, but I'm not. I don't get freaked out. But somebody asked that one time, like, how long do you plan on doing this? I'm like, Trim Healthy Mama or coaching? I'm never going to stop being a Trim Healthy Mama. And I said, I don't have any plans of stopping being a coach. It is the biggest blessing in the world. But anyway, I don't even know what was I saying. I don't even know what I was saying. I lost my train of thought. Yes, consistency. So being a coach, I'm highly motivated, of course, to stay on plan for all of you. But at the same time, there's a lot of things that I could do in private that no one would ever know. Now, if I went off plan consistently, y'all would know. But I could pull things here, there, or do things here, there that would not necessarily be recommended for Trim Healthy Mama. But that is not my heart. My heart is to be healthy on the inside for Amy, not for you, not for XYZ people, but it's for me. And I talked about this a lot last year where a client of mine, she just made mention, I was very sick. I had a terrible UTI situation going on. It was really bad. And she said, I was still doing calls because I don't want to get behind. So I was in my bed taking my one-on-one calls. And she said, have you once considered going off plan today? And I'm like, no, why would I go off plan? And she goes, that is what I want. You make Trim Healthy Mama non-negotiable. And I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, no, I mean, and honestly, when I'm sick, that is the last time that is not the last thing I need to do is to go off plan, because when I'm sick, I need to support my body as best as I can, but yes, for sure. Being consistent, making THM non-negotiable. If that's your goal, that might not be somebody's goal. Like I had a lot of buds from year-end buds that in their review, they said, I went into this group not planning to be on plan, but to learn. And I'm like, that's awesome, because they had a very healthy expectation for what they could do in that season. And now they're coming into Blooms for January, ready to hit the ground running and, access that information and live it out. And I think that is a beautiful thing for sure. I really do. Is there anything else you wanted to share? Yes, read from your notes.
Climbed on by children, and I was like trying to type. What are all the things? Oh, did I tell you? I think I put it on an NSV. I said that I have PCOS, right? And so I've been focusing on ease said, that's what you need. It's gonna nourish your adrenals and get everything going. So, a year and a half of like really focusing on 2 emails a day and trying to get all my carbs in. And this past month, my little app on my phone told me that my cycles were regular. I like, oh, freaked out. I was
That's
like,
what consistency will do.
a
It
year
heals
ago,
you
my
back.
cycles were like, it said highly irregular. And it
Mm,
was like anywhere within like a 3-week difference. And now it's gotten down to
wow.
like 3 days in a year. I was like, oh
Wow.
God.
That's awesome. Congratulations. You did that. That's amazing.
Big. That was like my big NSV lately. I was so excited. I was like, I can't, just because I feel like it's so hard to see progress with that. I was like, this is like really like showing that what I'm doing is working.
Yeah. Miss Beth shared that her rheumatoid arthritis is in remission.
Wow.
I know. It's just wonderful. I have clients getting off of blood pressure medication, heart medication, getting pregnant, different things. That is just such a beautiful thing. It just makes my heart so happy to know that it's changing. It's changing a lot. Did you see Carol's boys and her husband? Oh, Cristina. And I actually met one of my buds. I met her at my girls' dance recital. Her granddaughter dances in the same academy. She's one of the little ones. But I met her and we teared up, got our picture and everything. But at the end, her husband came up to me and he said, I'm Lane's husband. And I was like, oh, it's so nice to meet you. He said, you're helping the husbands too. And I was like,
That's
oh my God. And I was already crying because of Bella and her senior year and everything. And Wes, my mama, Wes wasn't there that night. My mama said, who was that? And she goes, why are you crying? And so I told her, she's like, oh, that's so sweet. I was like, it's sweet. So yeah, Trim Healthy Mama helps them in too. And your little boys, like you're going to be teaching them. My boys, bless them, like I'll be eating a cookie, those white chocolate pecan cookies that I made. Kemp goes, girl, is that on plan? I'm like, actually it is. He said, but that looks like a real cookie. I went, I know. It's from Trim Healthy Indulgence. Esther's the bomb. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. But Carol's sons, I need to ask her how much each of them have lost. But I mean, they've lost half of themselves. They all like halved. That was incredible. That was incredible. I wonder if they'd do a podcast. I bet they would.
Like a family podcast. That'd be so cute.
That would be cute. I'll ask her. Since they're all big boys. They're both in college, I think. Yeah. Yeah, they are. I can't remember anything outside of that. Woo. But yeah, so incredible. Trim Healthy Mama Works. Trim Healthy. They're trying to rebrand it. I need to do that better. Trim Healthy works for anybody that puts it into practice. I mean, it does. Now, the weight loss is slow for some people, especially women with a lot of hormonal issues or different things. I have run into some people that have had issues losing weight, but a hill I will die on is that it will make you healthier. And if you continue doing it on plan food on time, water, moderate exercise, I think those are all key. It's over time, you're going to see the scale go down. I really think that you will. Now, like you said, having the S meals a lot, that might not be helpful, but, juggling your fuels and having those veggies and stuff. I mean, doing it smart. I definitely think results will be seen, but you have to keep doing it. Yeah, for sure. So I think the topic of this is consistency for sure. Yeah.
That's the thing that's made the most difference, especially now that I'm like not quite at goal weight, but I'm like happy where I am. So I'm like, whatever, if I can be consistent, then we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Very good. All right. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me today.
Thank you. My house is quiet for
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, I'm going to close this out. Thank you all for listening. You want to tell them bye?
Bye.
Bye, y'all.